Chapter 9. The Stare. After Fluttershy got a harsh talking to from Raph, she ran away in tears while the others tried to find her. The girl ended up stopping in Central Park, feeling she ran far enough. She went to a tree and curled up in a fetal position, still feeling sad.
I was only trying to help. I didn't mean to get in Raph's way. Maybe I'm not meant to be a Kanochi. I probably just screwed things up like I did tonight.
She buried her face in her legs.
Fluttershy, what's wrong?
Came a voice. Fluttershy gasped as she looked up and saw Slash standing above her.
Slash? What are you doing here?
I was out on a solo patrol, and I saw you running into the park. Why a long face?
He asked in concern.
Oh, Slash, I think I did something awful.
She said, getting sadder. Slash sat down beside her.
Okay, just calm down. Talk to your buddy Slash.
Well, it started out like this.
Fluttershy began to tell Slash what just happened. Meanwhile, Rahzar, Fishface, Rocksteady, and Bebop were searching for the turtles and the rainbooms. Rahzar and Bebop were sniffing around before looking in one direction.
This way, yo!
They both announced.
When I find turtles and rainbow girls, I going to crush their heads like the blueberries!
Rocksteady declared.
And I have a score to settle with that girl who shot me in the butt.
Fishface added.
Well, get a move on!
Rahzar ordered. So let's boogie, buddies! Bebop called as they took off. Back with Fluttershy and Slash, the girl had finished telling him her whole story.
And that's what happened.
Slash, seeing the problem with this, laid a hand on her shoulder. Fluttershy looked up to him as he spoke.
Listen to me, Fluttershy. You did nothing wrong.
But Raph...
I've known Raphael longer than you. And from all my years of observing the way he acts, I've learned he has issues with his pride in asking for help.
Really?
Slash nodded.
That's something Master Splinter and even the others have warned him time and time again about. Raphael doesn't hate you if that's the impression you got. It's his pride that makes him say the wrong things.
What should I do, Slash?
Fluttershy wondered, hoping he'd have an answer. Slash smiled.
Just give Raphael a chance to cool off. Sooner or later, he'll come to his senses and realize what a fool he is.
You mean it?
She asked hopefully. Slash wiped a tear from her eye.
I do.
Fluttershy embraced the big turtle.
Thank you, Slash. You're a good friend.
Slash hugged her back.
Always here to help, sister.
Well, what do we have here?
A voice asked. Slash and Fluttershy looked up, seeing Rahzar, Fishface, and Bebop drop from a tree above, and Rocksteady walk in on the scene. Sorry to break up this sentimental moment, yo, Bebop said.
But we have a score to settle.
Fishface readied his sword. Slash readied his weapon and shielded Fluttershy.
Go, Fluttershy! Leave him to me!
But I can't leave you.
Slash smirked.
Don't worry. I got this covered.
Fluttershy, seeing he knew what he was doing, decided to go find help.
Crack his shell!
Rahzar ordered, and the four mutants did battle against Slash. The big turtle, using his brute strength and weapon, was able to ward them off, but deep down he knew he wouldn't be able to fight them forever. Fluttershy ran to find help, before hearing her name get called out.
Fluttershy!
The girl looked over and saw her friends and the turtles, minus Raph, running over.
Fluttershy, there you are!
Twilight said in relief.
You scared us, girl.
Casey said.
Fluttershy, about what Raph said.
Leo began, only to get interrupted by the shy girl.
No time for that. We got trouble.
Trouble?
The turtles asked.
Slash is under attack by Shredder's mutants.
Slash?
The group gasped.
We gotta hurry.
Mikey cried.
Lead the way, Fluttershy.
Leo ordered as Fluttershy let them off. Back at the fight, Slash was still holding out against the four mutants, but wished he had his team with him.
Not exactly the shell we get to crack, but take what you can get, I guess.
Rahzar chuckled.
Leave it to Rocksteady to break him!
Rocksteady said as he held his big hammer up. Suddenly, Leo, Mikey, and Donnie jumped in and delivered a three-way flying kick to the Rhino, knocking him to the ground. Slash looked up, seeing his allies arrive.
My friends.
He smiled.
How are you doing, Slash?
Leo asked.
Good. But could have been better if you showed up a minute ago.
Slash joked.
Better late than never.
Mikey retorted. The girls armed themselves against the mutants as Fishface spoke.
Ready for a second helping?
Only if you are fish sticks.
Rainbow answered as she aimed her weapon at the fish mutant.
Attack!
Leo ordered as the group went into battle against the four mutants. Leo, Sunset, and Twilight were dealing with Rahzar, while Slash, Rainbow, Casey, and Pinky were fighting Rocksteady. Rarity, April, Mikey, Donnie, and Applejack were fighting Bebop, and Fluttershy was left to fight Fishface. Fishface was running at Fluttershy using both his swords and legs to fight her, while Fluttershy was dodging as much as she could.
This isn't fun at all. The least you could do is give me a challenge.
Fishface called as he jumped up and did a spin kick, knocking Fluttershy to the ground.
Fluttershy!
The group called, but were unable to come to her aid. Fluttershy tried to get up, but Fishface pinned her down to the ground with his right foot on her stomach.
Now, I'm going to teach you a lesson.
He held up his sword and was ready to pierce her. Fluttershy shut her eyes in fright, but before the fish could stab her, something flew by and knocked his weapon out of his hands.
Ah! What?
Fishface gasped as he, Fluttershy, and everyone else looked up, seeing Raph standing on a tree branch above them.
Leave Fluttershy alone!
Raph declared as he jumped down to attack Fishface. The fish mutant jumped away, allowing Fluttershy to get up. She saw Raph land by her.
Raphael, you came.
Raph smiled.
You saved me, now I save you.
Fluttershy smiled, seeing Raph did get over his pride, for the day anyway. Fishface spoke.
Now that all the turtles and the girls are here, it's time we finish. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Raph answered as the two fought. While both sides appeared even, the four mutant enemies were still dishing out their best moves. When they plowed through the turtles, the girls, April, Casey, and Slash, Fluttershy noticed and her eyes started shifting to an angered look. The final blow came when Fishface kicked Raphael into a tree. The four mutants, seeing that all but one was down, turned their attention to Fluttershy.
This one shouldn't be a problem, huh?
Rahzar asked as the four saw Fluttershy glaring firmly at them.
You big me's.
The four were taken aback by her outburst, while the others watched as Fluttershy stomped in their enemy's direction.
You're all acting like a big bunch of bullies attacking my friends like that. How would you feel if someone bigger than you pushed you around like that?
She got up close and personal as the four were backing away from her while feeling intimidated.
Easy there, chica.
Fishface stammered while waving his arms around. No need to get all heavy on us, girl! Bebop added, while getting nervous from Fluttershy's staring.
Oh, you think this is heavy? You haven't even seen what heavy is.
Fluttershy shouted.
Is that really Fluttershy?
Casey asked in disbelief.
Dudes, she's scary.
Mikey trembled. Rainbow smirked.
Yeah, when Fluttershy gets ticked off enough, she gives you the stare.
The stare?
Leo and April asked.
You don't ever want to be on the receiving end.
Applejack added. The four bad mutants looked ready to wet themselves, as Fluttershy continued to lecture them while keeping the stare up.
Now, unless you want to start something really nasty, I suggest you all go home and think about what you've done tonight. Now, get!
She shouted. The four mutants turned tail and ran screaming for their lives. Fluttershy turned off the stare and looked back, seeing her friends were okay, while the turtles, Slash, Casey, and April were shocked.
What?
She asked timidly.
Fluttershy.
Raph began as he approached her.
That was cool!
He cheered.
It was?
Fluttershy asked.
Of course it was! Do you have any idea how long I've wanted to make my enemies run in fright just by looking at them?
Raph asked in excitement.
I can't say I do.
Oh man, I was so wrong about you! You're even better than I imagined! Think you could teach me that move?
I'd like to use it on Mikey.
He grinned before looking at Mikey with glaring eyes.
Ah! The stair!
Mikey ran and hid behind Donnie. Fluttershy felt sheepish.
I really don't like doing it, but sometimes it's the only way to get through some of my more stubborn animals at the shelter.
Raph smiled, but knew he had to say what he should have said.
Look, Fluttershy, about what I said back there.
He was cut off as Fluttershy put a hand to his mouth.
You don't have to say it, Raph. I know.
Still, I'm sorry.
He admitted. Fluttershy smiled and looked to Slash, who nodded, confirming that things would work out with Raph eventually. Then, Fluttershy smiled at the hothead.
It's okay.
Suddenly, Fluttershy was taken by surprise as the group gathered around, congratulating and cheering Fluttershy.
Fluttershy, you did great.
Leo said.
That was just amazing.
Donnie added.
We're so proud of you, Fluttershy.
April put in.
Girl, you got guts.
Casey smiled.
Come on, Fluttershy. Give us a booyakasha!
Mikey pleaded.
Yakasha?
She said in a faint whisper.
Lame. Louder!
Mikey suggested.
Yakasha.
She said a little louder, but still not good enough.
Come on, girl. Say it loud and say it proud.
Mikey cheered.
Fluttershy took a deep breath and shouted.
Yakasha!
She realized her scream and blushed in embarrassment.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Mikey cheered as the group laughed. Meanwhile, back in Shredder's lair, the four mutants stood before the Shredder, while their boss did not look pleased.
You ran from a single girl like cowards?
He bellowed.
Master Shredder, I know it sounds absurd.
Rahzar began, before Fishface continued.
But that girl wasn't looking at us with human eyes.
Rocksteady nodded.
Yes, she had the eyes of a demon.
A straight-up scary demon! Bebop finished. The four shook in fear as the Shredder approached them.
Allow me to show you how scary a demon can really be.
He extended his arms, and his blades extended from both gauntlets. Outside the lair, the screams of the mutant henchmen could be heard.